Hello and welcome to Let's Sip and Talk with Freema on this great Friday night. Y'all, we are outside tonight. Outside. So anyway, y'all know how we do on Friday nights. We we go over, what I post and just kind of talk about it, have fun, let our hair down. So, shall we get started? And also before we get started, ladies, be outside this summer. Have a good time. Just be respectful with it.
Right.
And what happens behind closed doors stays behind closed doors.
Absolutely.
All right. Angela, it's on you.
All right. So we're gonna recap what she posted this week because she's always controversial.
Mm-hmm. I love
So
it.
she said, "You had her with your words and lost her with your actions." So let's talk about it.
Mm, okay.
What did you mean?
You had her with your words. Okay. So what I meant by that is, and y'all let me know if y'all can hear us pretty good. I hear an echo, but let me know. Anyway, so I feel like men and women shoot a good game. They have a good mouthpiece. Some people tell you what you want to hear. Some people tell you what sounds good. Some people tell you what they heard other people say. You can say all of this, but to me, your actions has to match it, or your actions has to. I mean, it just has to match. Somebody commented and said that the actions and the word must match, and I actually posted that on Instagram yesterday, or whenever. It said your words must match your actions, because you can tell me stuff all day, but if you're showing me something different, which one you think I'm gonna believe?
I think actions go further than words.
Yeah,
Because you could say whatever. You're gonna say, well, I don't like rice and beans, but then you eating rice and beans.
exactly. So
I'm
do
gonna
you
go.
like it
I'm
or
gonna
you
go
don't?
by what I see.
I agree with that.
Right. So it must match.
It must match. That was an easy one.
It was.
Don't say nothing you don't mean either,
Absolutely.
because now you can't hold on to it because your actions is you got to follow through.
Or did you mean it at the time? Because everyone does things for a purpose.
They do, but I'm not going to say anything that I know I can't. Like, okay, when you say at a time, let's say I say, Angela, I'm getting ready to come over, right? But then something comes up, you can't help that.
Yeah, but you're gonna say, hey, I can't make it because of XYZ.
Yeah, you'll let them know. Communication. Hey,
Absolutely.
Melvin, thanks for tuning in.
Absolutely.
Okay, so that's fair. That's fair.
I mean, your actions gonna match your words, but you're gonna always give good a reason behind when it doesn't. You're going to be honest.
You got to be honest and open.
Absolutely.
And remember that word, transparent.
Absolutely.
Yep. That's it.
This next one was so hilarious. I just thought it was the funniest thing. You said hilarious but true. I got a post before my son's. This is what it says. Let's start here. It says, I got a post. I guess someone sent
Yeah, somebody sent it to me, and I should have cropped that part out, but oh well.
So it was saying, I got a post. Then it says, before my son step out into the world, I'm going to make sure he doesn't need a blanket, bib, and a damn bottle no more. Because niggas act like they need to be put on a shoulder and burp.
So, when people send me stuff, sometimes I don't ask for, can you elaborate or anything? Because I think they're saying men act like babies or they're very needy and don't realize it. I don't know. What you take from it?
I take from it, like, when I look at a newborn don't know what they want to do. They don't know if they want to lay down. They don't know if they want to sleep. They don't know if they want to eat. They're so confused. It's indecisiveness is what I take from it. So I take from it, like, they don't even know what they want. They don't know what they want to do.
They don't know what they want, period.
Yeah, they don't.
They can want something today and then not want it tomorrow.
Maybe they weren't loved as a child.
You think so?
A child. Maybe they weren't swaddled enough. Because some of them act like that.
Maybe they just needy.
You needy because you weren't loved as a child. Did your mama lay you on the chair? Did she not hold you enough? Did she not swaddle you and
Okay, sorry,
Okay.
y'all.
So
do
I mean,
apologize.
you know, see, I mean, that's just my perception, but and that goes for men and women. So we're not just
Yeah.
gonna beat up on men, but sometimes when people have mommy and daddy issues, sometimes they never meet it.
Right.
And they have to get to the root of the problems. It has nothing to do with that other individual. If you weren't whole enough, you weren't loved enough, it's not that person's business. It's not their problem. But you need to get to the
But
root
it's
of,
okay for letting them know up front.
well, what if you don't know?
Mm.
But it takes somebody like me or you or somebody else to say, hey, was you loved enough as a child? Did your mama hold you enough? Did she lay you on the chair? Did
They're
she
not gonna
birth you?
remember that.
They're not going to, but it make you wonder if that's what their problem is. Because a lot of times it could be something that simple.
You're right.
I mean, and it sounds crazy and it sounds like we're picking, but the truth is sometimes that really be the root of the problem. A lot of trauma that we take into adulthood comes from
Right.
childhood trauma.
Absolutely, I agree with that 100%.
So we are who we are, and we develop our personalities by the age of 3. It is a proven fact. Look it up. It's factual. So by the age of 3, we develop our personalities.
Mm.
So a lot of things that we may not remember, we've already developed who we're gonna be by the age of 3.
Well, teach me something new. It's good to learn something new every day.
Yep. So
every day.
we imitate what we see.
That's true.
Yep.
Mm.
All right.
That's a good one.
I don't know if I want to read this or
And
not.
make sure if y'all want to talk about something, put it in the comment section so we can talk about it.
I'm gonna skip over the next.
Why? What was the next?
Somebody, if you were a pet.
Oh no, go
I'm
ahead.
just gonna go on past that. I'm just scrolling by. All right. So this one says, "You give enough of the truth, so they'll believe the lie."
You know, let me tell you, when I post that yesterday, you know, because like I said, a wise person told me that. I was actually shocked that so many people, or just a few people, to actually agree with it or love it or comment. I'm like, hey, is it saying that there are liars out there, or is it saying that what is that really saying?
What I think is when a person omits information, they're telling you the truth, the best of their ability. They're giving you just the truth, but they're omitting
something. So that's what make it the lie.
Yeah, to them ain't a lie. They only telling you the truthful part. They ain't telling you everything. So to them, they ain't lying.
But to other people, some people say omitting stuff is a lie.
Well, guess what it is? Omitting stuff, you are omitting information. So guess what? You ain't telling all of the truth. So before I call it a lie, I'd rather call you out and say, you may not be lying about that part, but you are omitting information. So that's what you call a person out on. You telling the truth about that, but what are you omitting?
Right.
What are you not telling? Because there's bits and pieces that are missing. So calling someone a liar is being judgmental. Now you're pointing a finger, and it can cause confusion. That's a good argument point to divert the conversation, to divert the whole scenario, and make it look like you the bad guy.
Right.
So don't do that, people. Don't do that. If you feel like a person is not being forthcoming, so I don't think you're forthcoming with all the information. What you're saying could be the truth, but you're missing information. No, did you omit any information? What else is there that you're missing? Be very straightforward.
That's true.
And if they can't answer that, then you know they're omitting information. You can say, you know what? I'm gonna leave you right where you are.
Easier said than done. But.
Yeah, but guess what? That's how you recognize the real from the fake when you go to the facts.
That's true. That's very true. What else?
And you're not being judgmental.
No. See, we don't want to be judgmental. No one's perfect.
Nope.
But at the same time, if it's my life, I need to get to the bottom of it.
Absolutely.
Don't come in here playing with me. We too old for that.
Absolutely. So before we go on to the next one, I think we were talking about this the other day. People's languages. Because, you know, love language is a big thing. What about fight language?
Fight language, apology language. All of that is important.
So what about that?
We need to learn that. That stuff, to me, needs to be discussed in the beginning.
Or pay attention to it.
Pay attention.
Because if it's a misunderstanding, a person shuts down and the other person wants to conversate, well, guess what? Somebody's fight language is, hey, I shut down. The other person want to talk. So we need to meet in the middle. Maybe we need to figure out
what works for us.
What works for us.
What if somebody never talked?
Eventually, they may not talk that day. maybe they need to regroup, gather their thoughts, because they want to communicate effectively.
Right.
So
And they
give
don't
them
wanna
that
come
time.
off, you
So
know.
is that healthy?
Ooh. Well, because what they say, like sometimes you need to sit there, you need to think about it and stuff. Because a lot of people say things when they're angry. You can't take words back.
Absolutely.
So maybe instead of just rah rah rah, they say,
Right.
you know what, I need to take a step
The
back.
best thing for me to do be quiet before I say the wrong thing.
Yep. Something
I
I
can
can't
say
regret.
for me,
I will regret.
for me, my fight language is I will be quiet, because I don't want to say something that is wrong out of context, and I want to make sure I communicate effectively. So before I go over the top, I'll just be quiet, and I need to regroup so I can communicate effectively.
And I like to talk about it now. Let's talk about it.
And
I'll ask you a million questions.
And see it now. Here's the balance. What if your person is not able to do that? So what do you do? So that's when you talk about, say, hey, I see that when we have a misunderstanding, you're not able to communicate. So what works for you? So now you got to have balance. I tell you what, I'll give you time, because I'm ready to talk. So how long would it take for you to be able to talk?
It ain't gonna take that damn long.
You can't say that.
No, we ain't doing it then. Then it's not for me.
But then you making it about you. Is it your relationship?
It is about at some point.
Are you committed to
Listen
you
what
or
I'm
the
saying.
relationship?
At some point, it has to be about you. And
Mhm.
I don't care the
But
relationship.
what about the other person?
Listen what I'm saying. At some point, it has to be about you. And what I say when I say that is, if it's never about me and what I need in a relationship, you know, and it's like, okay, it's always about them.
No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is a misunderstanding. You two have to sit down and figure out where you meet in the middle. If this person shuts down and say, typically, I don't talk for a day, you say, no,
then that's fine.
No, listen. But you're gonna meet in the middle. You don't have to compromise. Say, no. For me, I like to. That's what I'm saying. Is
I get that part, but sometimes some people don't even want to bend. And now it's like, okay, am I sitting here?
If I ain't saying a person that don't want to bend, I'm saying
somebody who's willing to.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm giving an example of meeting in the middle. I ain't saying nobody who don't want to meet. I'm giving an example of a healthy fight language. That's what we're talking about. How to healthy fight versus somebody who don't want to bend. If somebody don't want to bend, is that the right relationship?
No, it's not.
Okay.
What
about apology language? I'm gonna let you take that one.
Apology language. We need to learn if individuals like, okay, this one with this apology language is equivalent to love language. Some people feel like if you apologizing or whatever, I need something, gift, because some people like gifts. That's their love. Their apology, you did something, you apologizing, they might want you to buy something. That's why it's important for you to understand their love language. If you don't understand it, then the apology language, if it's getting gifts to prove that you really apologize for what you did, it's not going to work, because that's their apology language. Some people like to hear it verbally, say, you know, I apologize, right. I was wrong, you know, whatever. Some people want you to just show it, and not with gifts, but in actions.
Absolutely.
You know, so it just really depends on each individual. And I don't think a lot of us take a lot of time out to figure out each thing. Take the test and figure it out. Yeah. It's 3 tests: love languages, apology language, and fight language. And that thing you sent me in the beginning, it was TD Jakes, and he said, I don't remember, don't quote me on it, Angela, correct me if I'm wrong, but every relationship needs to go through, did he say an argument, a tough time?
He did.
He said argument?
He did.
To see how we work, how we gonna figure this thing out.
Because you're going through seasons.
Yeah.
That goes back to what we were saying. You're gonna see a person in seasons. So that let you know how can you withstand a season with a person.
Thanks for tuning in, Ohio.
If you can get through a simple season of a misunderstanding and how your fight language is, then how can you withstand any tougher seasons?
That's it.
What if you got a financial crisis? You can't get through a simple misunderstanding. You can't withstand a financial crisis.
That's it. Let's see what Brian said. Brian's in Ohio. Thank you for tuning in. He said, if the fight is over and you say it's over, then you can't bring it up again.
Absolutely.
I agree with that 100%. That takes me to something else, Brian. Relationships. I cheated, right? He takes me back.
Right.
I feel like that should be over and done with.
That's it.
If you're not over me cheating, don't take me back.
Don't do it.
And that's just what it is.
If someone has whatever issue in a relationship for you to part ways, and if you have unforgiveness, it's no need.
That's it.
Like you're wasting people's time. If you're gonna have unforgiveness, you cannot be good today and then a couple of days, weeks, or months down the road, you're gonna justify your behavior because of something they did. So now you want to do something. It don't work like that.
It'll never work. And I'm just being honest.
Never work.
It'll never work. I've been there, done that.
Never. It will never work because that is unhealthy.
Carolina Town said the majority of Black women, and yes, I enhanced that word. Majority of Black women leave for bullshit anyway.
He said leave.
Wait,
tell him to
elaborate.
Tell him to elaborate so we can get a good understanding.
I feel like elaborate.
No, we can't elaborate. Yeah, because we can't. We need to know more. Tell him to talk about
majority
more.
of Black women leave for bullshit anyway.
Tell him to give us an example so we can go there.
Yeah, give us an example because I want to speak on this, but I could be wrong.
Yeah.
So
we're going to the next.
Give me an example.
He gives us an example.
Give me an example, and we'll come back to it.
Okay.
Because we want to make sure we understand. We don't want to assume anything.
Absolutely.
So,
because we don't want to be on bullshit.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So next one says, I think I tagged you in this. I said, if you be who you are, no one can ever be confused.
That's it.
If you be the best representation of yourself, and you are who you are today, tomorrow, next week, in this minute, in this hour, no one can ever be confused about who you are. It's no way.
Real quick, Brian said you're right. I think it's what we were talking about previously, and then he also said forgiveness is it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So Brian, we agree with you on this. One thing about us, we're not gonna just beat up on men. We're gonna be honest about what it is. Like it is pointless just to point the finger, because at the end of the day, you have to be held accountable for self.
That's it.
So if rather who cheated, men lie, women lie, men lie, women lie. It don't matter who lied, who cheated.
Right.
If you decided to go back in this thing, the slate need to be clean.
The slate need to be clean
on both behalves. Y'all need to sit down and talk about what caused it to happen.
Absolutely.
What you're gonna work on, and how you both gonna put the effort in.
And just to piggyback, a lot of people don't want to have those conversations because they're scared to hear the truth. Because sometimes the truth do hurt. So you're sitting down with your partner and saying, "Hey, what led you to pursue this other woman?
Absolutely.
What led you to pursue this other man? What are we missing?
What
what's going on?
What went wrong with us?
Right.
Because you don't want, the thing about it is you got to fight fair.
Yeah.
You don't want to say, well, what was I not doing? Because sometimes it's hard for the individual to say what you're not doing. Just say, well, what went wrong with us? And they'll be comfortable opening up, because it could be them. It may not even be you.
Right.
So what went wrong with us? So you get to the bottom of it and be open and honest about you. Because you can say, you know what, maybe I wasn't doing something, and be honest about it. Be okay to say, you know what, I neglected certain areas, and it's all right. Because guess what? If you're back to trying to work on it, you got to be honest.
You got to be upfront. That's the only way.
You got to be honest with yourself about your downfalls.
Yep.
Because ain't no need to keep forth and the do-overs. Remember, I think you posted that
about
the doubling back. You're doubling back. What you doubling back for if you ain't gonna double back to make it everlasting? It's pointless. Make it work. So if you're gonna double back, make it the double back worth it.
That's fine. That's fine.
Someone said something.
He said something about he's basketball on. He's gonna come back and watch it later. That's fine. Just watch it.
Gotcha.
But yeah, go ahead. You said something. It was one that I don't think we talked about that. If you
be who you are, no one can ever be confused.
Yeah. So you just got to be 100. Hold on. Brian said something. He said Frida. It's Freema. But I know it probably autocorrect. You two are cool and pretty. Just saying. Thank you. We appreciate that. Communication is everything. Compromises are everything.
Absolutely.
I agree 100%.
Let me tell you something.
Compromise got to make sense.
Let me tell you something, Brian. The thing that we've come to terms with is no need to sit there and act like we're flawless about our pitfalls and downfalls in relationships. We're not. We're here to help somebody.
Yeah. Help each other.
And we're very transparent about it.
Let me tell you something we do. I know she get tired of me.
We do.
She probably know I get tired of her, but we're going to get through this. You get what I'm saying? We're not the type to be like, leave him alone.
We have debates.
We go back and forth.
We debate until we get down to the nitty gritty.
Nobody ever say, listen, let me tell y'all females something out there, because I don't know how the men work, but I can tell y'all how they're going to at least have one, two, or some friends that they're going to consult with. And you don't want a friend that's only giving you what you want to hear.
That's right.
That, like, I cannot stand that type of friend. Like, I can't do it.
I don't want nobody to agree with me. I need somebody that's gonna say, listen.
I know I'll be on some.
I need to hear something that maybe I'm missing something. Mm-hmm. Because what if maybe I do have this thought in the back of my head and I'm not thinking reckless, I'm not making this up, because maybe I see it, and sometimes you need to take a sit down.
Sometimes you need to. That's what Let's Sip and Talk with Freema do. Different perspectives.
Yeah,
it's okay. Teresa said, had this same conversation tonight, and he's not willing to let go of the past, so I'm just going to move on. And one thing, let me give a disclaimer real quick. Okay. One thing we don't do is tell you to leave somebody.
No,
that's not the place.
So Teresa, to you, what I would say, you sit down and what you do, don't, to begin with, I'm gonna tell you something. A person will be very defensive when you point fingers. So be very mindful when you start talking. Before you say you say, where do we? Always talk about we, because you are in a relationship together.
Absolutely.
Keep in mind, you're committed to the relationship. That's the part. That's the commitment to the relationship. Not the person, but to the relationship. So if you're committed to the relationship, where do we go wrong in the relationship? So you open up the floor and say, hey, this is where I know I could have did better.
Right.
Because go ahead and point out your stuff. If you have did your self-evaluation, you know where you could have did better, go ahead and point your stuff out. That means you are content with you. Mm-hmm. You have made peace with you. You done did all you can do. You will feel good knowing if you had to walk away, you did all you can do.
100%. And I love that.
You did more than 100. At that point, you did 200 because you did what you could do there. Plus, you took it a step further to open up and say, hey, I went wrong in this area. Yep. You were vulnerable about your areas of improvement you need.
Yep.
So now it's up to him. Then you make your decision, dear.
That's it. As long as you covered all avenues, like she said, you will feel good walking away. That goes back, and y'all know I always do sidebars. That goes back to what I said. I always treat people the way I want to be treated. Absolutely. It took me a long time to understand this. Absolutely. This is like, why I treat people the way I want to be treated when they don't do me? No, I'm going to treat people the way I want to be treated, because when I walk away, I know I did everything right. You get what I'm saying? So, yeah, you make sure you cover all bases. If you already did that, Teresa, and your decision is made, that's it. Because if somebody can't get over the past, they're going to constantly bring it up, and it's going to constantly put a damper, bitterness, and all that in a relationship. And I'm just being honest. Antonio said, double back only if planning to marry or you got something to prove in the bed. Let me repeat that. Double back only if planning to marry, or
you double
did
back.
Did you mess up in the bed?
All right, so here's the thing. Like, here's the thing, Antonia. I'm confused. So doubling back, you double back when you know that you had a mishap and you know you can do better. It ain't about the bedroom. Let me start right there. Let me tell you something. Because vagina and penis come a dime a dozen. You better believe it.
Yeah.
So don't think the bedroom is going to keep you there. The number one reason for marriages and divorces is not bedroom. It's finances.
It's finances.
So let me go ahead and put it out there.
100%.
Let me go ahead and put it out there. Finances. It's nothing to do with the bedroom. Bedroom might have got you together, but bedroom ain't going to keep you together, because they be good as all outdoor.
Okay, we do apologize. You know, we're in the country.
We are.
We do apologize.
We're in the country.
Okay, so Kelvin said, the problem with relationships now is that people be seeing the flaws in people and they still proceed with the relationship and cry about it later. And Kelvin, God damn it, you done won one back. Because me and you had it going on live. You won one back with this comment. Because that's some real stuff.
But guess what? Red flags. Let me tell you something. When a person show you who they are the first time,
you better believe it.
You better believe it. Because guess what? They're going to pretend to be whoever they need to be to get whatever they want. And that's just what it is.
And that's just what it is.
So when they show you who they are, and this goes back to what we just posted, if you be who you are, no one else can ever be confused.
That's it.
So guess what? So when that person is who they are, don't be confused.
They showed you this.
They showed you this.
They showed you
So you can do one or two things. You can accept it or you can exit.
That's it. So it's no other way to put it. And I do want to say this. I posted this, but I want to say this live so people can go back and watch it and keep watching it. As women, and I could only speak to women because I am a woman, we tend to settle. We tend to ignore the red flags because that person that we're with now is doing a little better in some areas that we was not getting in the previous relationship. Right. I don't care how small it is, but it's like, oh my goodness, I wanted to have date night.
Because you're comparing them to the one prior.
Exactly.
And that don't
whether
mean
y'all realize we doing it or not, we compare. It's like, oh my goodness, he's doing
they're doing what that one didn't do.
And now,
and it's still, let me tell you something.
That's it.
It will make you think is what you need, but guess what? It's only gonna get you through until you realize what your value and worth is. You be like, no, this ain't enough for me.
That's it. 100%.
Because you know what you bring to the table. What's the next one?
Okay, hold on. We still got some comments.
What's the comments?
Brian said, thank you. I need to see something different. Teresa said, I've done all those things, and yet he's willing not to admit anything that he's done.
Teresa, we will inbox you on the sidebar.
Yeah.
We'll inbox you in the sidebar.
Yeah.
We'll definitely do that.
Brian said, Freeman, can I ask anything or is it? No, ask anything.
We're transparent.
It's Friday night. Friday night. Yeah, ask me anything. Arthur said, everybody has issues. It's all about what you are willing to deal with. I say that all the time, Arthur.
You gotta put up with something. So what are you willing to put up with?
You'll know what you can tolerate, what you can't.
That's it, because you're going to have that 75%. Yep. You're going to have that 80%. You're going to have that 85%. But guess what? Is there a 90? Is there a 95? Because guess what? We can't rate ourselves because we got to go by what somebody else say.
I just know I'm a great wife and I'm ready to be a wife again.
So guess what? According to me, I'm 100%. And I'm going to take that to the bank and you're going to cash that all day.
That's it.
I'm 100%.
What's the next thing you say?
No, I'm about to say I might be 98. I'm 98%.
What else you said?
This is where you went live about transparency.
They can go back and watch that.
Men lie, women lie, men lie.
Jeffrey said, damn, Angela looking good. That's all I gotta say. Okay, Jeffrey, we gonna take that.
Look here, Jeffrey. Black don't crack. I still live the same. All right, so
what's the next one?
Next one is oh, I can't say that one. Do you want me to say this one?
Girl, say it.
I said, what are we doing? I said, we supposed to be on an all-inclusive vacation right now.
So I feel like
we are. This time last year, we were in Mexico.
We were in Cabo.
We were enjoying our Mother's Day.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's what we should be doing right now, living our best lives.
Teresa said both of y'all still look the same. You know what? Thank you so much, Teresa. What somebody posted was, you know, have something planned, some travel arrangements. I don't care if it's 2 hours away. I don't care. Because you have something to look forward to. You see what I'm saying? You have something to look forward to. You I don't know. Some people feel like they don't like to travel, and that's fine. But have something to look forward to that makes you happy. We all need that. We all need it. I don't care what nobody say. You all need that little me time. Some of us got kids. Some of us got spouses. We need some time to kind of like woosah and surround yourself with positive people. Again, it makes a big difference with who you vent to and who you talk to about different things, because some people are just negative and they're not going to see it any other way. And I don't want to hear that. I want to hear the truth. So be mindful who you talk to about certain things, because that can put a damper on everything and it can make you feel some type of way. Be mindful of that. That's some serious stuff. Everybody cannot relate to what you got to talk about. Mike T said 100%. LOL Angie. Okay. So I posted, she's strong because she has to be, not because she wants to be. What I think a lot of men fail to realize is a lot of women these days and times, especially our era, we've been strong for so long. You know, I'm gonna use myself for an example. I've been strong since I was, child. I got married when I was 21, right? So I was strong since then, you know, and sometimes you're just ready to, and I'm gonna use the terminology, the street terminology. I'm just ready to shut the fuck up and sit down. You see what I'm saying? Y'all don't think women are, you know, ready to do that, ready to be submissive. Y'all think we just want to do this. We want to be so independent. Be independent, but I do want a man to actually lead me. You see what I'm saying? And I don't think y'all understand that there's a lot of women that actually want that. So don't feel like we don't want it. It's just we cannot find a man, or a man don't find us, that's willing to actually lead us 100%. And when we say lead, it's not necessarily financial. You see what I'm saying? Definitely have your shit in order, but it got to be in every area: mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, all of that. If you're not well put together, do not pursue a woman. And that's vice versa.
I'm here.
If you're not well put together, do not pursue a man. And that's just the way I see it.
You see, y'all see me?
Yes, now move. You get what I'm saying? It's not fair to the next person. And that's all I'm saying. Save yourself some heartache. If you know you're not all the way put together, don't even do it. Or hell, be upfront. Listen, I still got to work on this. I'm not all the way put together. I said, and if she's still willing to deal with you, guess what? You told her. Or vice versa. And that's just what I want to say about that. Y'all know I be going on tangents. Angela, what's the next
one? All right, so the next one is,
I'm here.
She's strong because she has to be, not because she wants to be. All right, so the next one.
We don't want to be that strong woman no more. We want a man that actually,
listen,
you know.
This is a good posting this for fun.
I always
you said,
bullshit.
Ladies.
Hold on, before you read that, Brian said, I've been with my wife 20 years. I bring up booty. She's tired and has a stomach ache. It's old. She says she's attached to me and she's ready, but she's always has an excuse, and she's 48.
All right, so look, Brian, I got this one for you. I'm gonna answer it. So, Brian, let me tell you something. She got comfortable, and you made her comfortable and content. And guess what? You set homegirl down, have a conversation with her, say, listen, this ain't what I signed up for.
Be real.
You said death do us part. Before you want me to step outside these doors and go find me something else.
You tell her that. You tell her that now.
I'm making you aware of this. You make sure you have this conversation with her.
You tell her
because at the end of the day, you didn't sign up for this, right? She did all these extravagant things to get you. She did do all these things to keep you.
Hell yeah.
Because if you step outside these doors, I promise you, it's somebody that's gonna do all these things to get you, and she gonna be mad.
Yeah.
Ain't no need for her to feel no kind of way. She gonna be bitter. So please talk to your girl.
You got and be straightforward. We ain't sugarcoating shit. I don't know how old you are, Brian, but we too old.
48.
Oh, she's 48. So you our era.
So listen,
you too old to sugarcoat it.
No. You too old to sugarcoat our era. According to them, we young.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like we the same era.
No.
What's that
so to them, we're young. So guess what? You go find you a young something, and she gonna be mad.
Don't find me yet.
You know why?
You go ahead and have that conversation with her.
You had a conversation, Brian, but she if
Okay, we're back. Sorry, we're sorry, y'all.
So Brian, listen, you talk to her and you tell her. However, but if she does not make those adjustments, because she's a grown woman, she understands you have needs just like she does. But guess what? She cannot put your needs aside.
Nope.
Because it is her duty as a wife to make sure you're good.
100%.
So guess what? If that was the case, she should never sign out for it.
That's it.
And that's just the truth.
Because let me tell you one thing I'm not going to do, and I don't even got to,
That's not.
I don't got to piggyback off Angela. She said exactly how I felt. You be straightforward with her. But one thing I'll never do is tell my man, no.
Yeah, you don't do that.
Okay? It has to be something that's just really like, but for it to be a pattern, nah, bro, we ain't doing that.
So here's the thing. If there's an issue with her, you ask her, say, hey, everything good? You okay?
Absolutely.
Maybe, what's going on? What's different? Ask her.
What can I do to help change this?
Correct. But if you didn't try that and it's nothing, then you settle down and have that grown conversation. And if she's not ready to receive it and she feels some kind of way, you let her. Because guess what? Life is too short for you to sit there and be miserable. Because I best to believe is somebody out there waiting for somebody like you. And don't you sit there and be miserable with her. Let her be miserable by herself.
Okay, Brian. He said he's 49. Okay, Kelvin said, do you think a relationship can last if he or she drinks? So,
yeah,
with me, that goes back to what we talked about in the beginning. Did you know I was a drinker when you met me? Have you seen me in all my seasons? Have you seen me hanging out with Angela and know that I be drinking and talking and having a good time?
You handle yourself.
That's exactly where I was going. It depends on how they conduct themselves while they're consuming the alcohol. Do they know when enough is enough? Are they throwing up and peeing on themselves? Because first of all, no, we ain't even about to proceed with this.
So it is no matter whether you're drinking alcohol or whatever you're doing, it's all about how you conduct yourself.
Can you handle your alcohol?
You always a lady first.
And a man.
Well,
some men throw extra.
It's always about being an adult first. Let's start with that.
Yeah, don't say it that way.
Always an adult. What's the next one?
Be upfront. If they not upfront and you realize, okay, we drinking
and they can't handle
it, they just doing the most.
Then you have that conversation.
No, no conversation.
That's why you
that's
why you sit. No, we're not gonna do that. We ain't doing that on live.
I'm done with it.
You sit down with
That's
them.
Who you are. They showed me who they were.
Well, you sit down and say, listen, I don't know if there's an issue or not, but what can I do to help? You offer that. But if they say it's not a problem and you see it again, then you be done. Because you did ask and they lied. So they showed you that they're lying, and then you do it.
So let's say this. You saying, okay, they show you this, and then you got to have this conversation, and then you be done. My thing is, if we haven't even had this conversation yet, clearly this kind of the beginning of the relationship, and you already doing this mess.
You don't know if they're going through something or not.
I don't care. Okay. You don't know me like that to be carrying on like that.
Everybody go through something. You don't know how to handle it.
Tell me you can't go on a date tonight.
Now you've been judged.
Tell me you can't go on a date tonight because you're going through something. Don't come out here
and a person drinking.
Oh. Don't come
now
out
you're talking
here.
about a person drinking. The question was somebody drinking. You don't know if they're going through something or not, so you can't assume that that's who they are. They could be going through something. I'm not judgmental about it.
Good job, Mighty. He said, I don't drink, I smoke. I'm talking about good job. Whatever, choose your poison.
Right.
That's you guys.
What's the next one?
You gotta go. But no.
Somebody said some stuff.
You at a family function. This the first time you bringing her around or him around.
Now
and he's doing the most.
That's different.
Well, that's what I was looking at.
But you automatically took a scenario and you looked at a one track.
I sure did.
But you can't do that.
I'm
just saying it's a place and time for everything. So if that was a place and time, pull your person aside before they got out of hand.
One thing we agreed with in this whole conversation, Kelvin, is that it depends on how they carry themselves.
Yeah.
So if they're a drinker and they know how to conduct themselves, if it's not putting a damper in y'all relationship, financially, she's acting out or he's acting out, whatever, then I mean, it is what it is. Just like Brian just said, Mighty just said, he don't drink, but he smoke.
Right.
If she chooses to drink, she chooses to drink. Long as she can handle herself.
Well, the next question is women tend
Hold
to
on,
find...
Before you do that, Teresa said, do you feel like a relationship can go back to where it was if one or the other cheated, even if you're proving you're not cheating?
No.
All right. So this goes back to what we said. So here's the thing about forgiveness. A relationship can be whatever you want it because you're committed to the relationship. So both parties are recommitting themselves to the relationship. Then it's possible because both parties are going to sit down and say, where did it go wrong? Because apparently for somebody to step outside, it was something missing. Okay. Something's missing.
Now wait.
So you got to figure out what's missing.
Okay.
But it's up to those individuals to put the pieces together of what's missing. you can fix anything you want to fix. Let's be realistic. Because it's been marriages that have been fixed from cheating. It's been relationship and marriages that have been fixed there. It's been all kind of things that's been fixed when it wasn't right in relationships. So you can fix whatever you choose to if you're committed to the relationship.
It takes two.
So both parties have to be committed to fixing the relationship.
Okay, so I'm gonna give my 2 cents on this.
Y'all done?
No, I'm gonna give my 2 cents. Then you can give your 2 cents. I honestly, and I'm only gonna speak from experience here. I don't think it can go back the way it was only because I'm sitting here washing dishes and this shit popping my head out fucking nowhere. So now I have unforgiveness.
I mean, you're honest about it.
I'm being dead ass.
So you
this
being
junk
honest.
is gonna pop in my head when I don't even ask for it.
So
we can be having a good ass time.
So what you doing? So what you gonna do? You gonna stay?
I'm not
So why you
gonna
in it?
stay in a relationship. I
Okay,
can't.
good. That's all I
Because
need to
now
know.
I'm miserable.
So good.
Thank you.
Now washing the dishes hard
So
because I'm
that
mad.
goes back to what I said. If you have unforgiveness, it's no need.
There's no need. I wouldn't be able to do it.
So, and me personally, I can forgive. So I
can't do it.
I probably could do it. But if you have unforgiveness, it's not. It's
So
no need.
me and Angela are gonna agree. We're gonna agree to disagree on this
If
one.
you can forgive, then you can. It's possible. But if it's unforgiveness, then it's no need.
Okay, Kelvin said the only way the relationship will work only if it didn't take alcohol to have sex with the person. Sober sex is the best sex. So this person has to consume alcohol in order to have sex. It sounds like they're not attracted. That's the way I see it. How you see it, Angela?
Shazam.
I think that it doesn't take alcohol to have sex. You should be attracted. So my thing is, you can have sex whether you under the influence or not. That's just what.
And
it
if
is.
you gotta get drunk to have sex, they're not attracted to whoever they having sex with.
I'm not gonna say that. I
That's
just
the way I
think that
feel.
for them, maybe they want to have a greater time.
Well, that's not all the time.
No, you don't gotta do it all the time.
But it sounds like all the time with me.
The
On
next
this comment.
The next thing says being comfortable will keep you right where you are, and it will.
Absolutely. He said no. So maybe then you gotta elaborate. You know how this go, Kelvin.
It says being comfortable will keep you right where you are.
Being comfortable will right where
And guess what?
you are.
Guess what? You'll be in something you don't want to be in. You'll be in a place. You'll be in a situation. You'll be in a time. You'll be in whatever you don't want to be in because you're comfortable.
No.
Teresa, someone else, Mighty Aunt Dig said, yep, once someone cheats, it's not the same. Brian said forgiveness is yes or no. You go further or not. That's it.
I agree
Absolutely.
with Brian.
I can't go further once you cheat.
It's yes or no.
It'll never be the same. Kelvin said, just remember, when you drink, you're not the same person if you were sober.
And I agree with that. It's just whatever you want in that moment in time.
That's it.
It's drizzling.
It's drizzling. So we're gonna have to end this. You
And
know, I melt.
9:45.
I melt. We got 1 minute. So we don't really have to say anything else based on that. Is there anything that we need to leave these people with? I want to thank y'all for tuning in first and foremost. And I always like to give it a background of Let's Sip and Talk with Freeman. We do these shows when I decide to do them because everybody don't have someone to talk to. You see what I'm saying? So I feel like if we reach one person tonight with anything we discussed, we did our job. If there's anything you want to post, get feedback, inbox me. I'll post it. No one will ever know where it came from. That's between me and that person, and you get feedback on the page. Also, for the ones that get feedback on the page, remember, when I say question, that means somebody wants to know a response or need that response. Don't be mean. That's not what this is about. Answer it or keep it moving, and don't say nothing at all if you can't give an honest answer to whatever the question is. And I just wanted to leave y'all with that. And Angela, anything you want to say?
I have nothing else.
Nothing to say.
We thank you for tuning in. We will be back. I don't know.
Y'all know.
Impromptu.
So like, yeah, we just do it when we do it. I thank y'all for what Huncho Banks said. What do we have here? Well, you came in kind of late.
So, Huncho Banks, we have some fine women here. Is what you have.
Hate to pop my own,
Deuces.
toot my own horn and pop my own collar, but we some fine ass chicks and some fine ass old chicks to some people. We're
I'm
finally,
not old.
we're the old people now.
I'm not old.
To everybody, yes, we are. We're considered the
new.
old ones
I'm not
now.
old. I'm new.
This is where I'm at. Look.
I'm new.
We're considered old right now.
I'm
So
new.
listen,
I'm new.
y'all go ahead and get y'all groove back. Make love to your partners tonight. Don't tell them no, because it's plenty of things out there that they can get into. Don't do that to themselves. Kelvin said, always remember, sex is a temptation, not an explanation. Teresa said we
Lord.
really are old now. Absolutely.
My
We
clothes is getting old. I still look fine as wine.
We do. Keep up with yourselves too, ladies.
Absolutely.
Keep up with yourself.
Don't let yourself
No.
Don't
go.
let yourself go
Don't.
behind nothing.
Don't.
Like nothing at all. Step out, you step out and you look good. I don't care where
Absolutely.
you're going.
Absolutely.
And it ain't about
Okay.
nobody else. It's because you feel how you look. So if I feel like I look good, I'm going to act the part.
Don't you?
You know what I'm saying? Make sure you feel good, look good every day. Put yourself first. Do what you got to do. 100 Age like fine wine by the Lakers on.
What you say?
I hope I said it. Age like fine wine by the Lakers on. By the way, the Lakers on. Yeah, somebody else told me. We got to get off. You, Teresa. Well, I'm glad you learned it. I'm glad you learned it because hey, Mighty Ann said, when are we going to do a video? Y'all could be talking on a boat ride.
Okay.
Inbox me. Let me know what's up. But people crazy though. But we'll talk about that next time. People crazy. Anyway, y'all, I enjoyed tonight. I thank y'all so much for tuning in. You guys rock. Let me know if there's anything y'all want to discuss on the next session. It's open book. We're here. I always say on Let's Sip and Talk with Freema. Peace and love.